First of all, I want to say I am so sorry for your loss and that you've had to go through this, and there's nothing that's going to make it better. But you asked some really good questions about, first of all, how long does healing take after losing a baby, and basically how long are you going to keep bleeding? You've had some irregular bleeding and you're wondering if it's due to a period or something else. And how long you should wait before you have another baby. So first of all, healing after a stillborn baby is probably going to take about 4 to 6 weeks. And unfortunately, that's a long time to keep dwelling on the fact that this happened. And you can kind of expect the bleeding to be like a period that you'd have that lasts 4 to 6 days, only it would be stretched over probably about 3 to 5-ish weeks. So the first day or two of a period is bright red, heavier bleeding with more significant cramping. And that's probably what you experienced the first week or two after you delivered. And then it should taper off slowly in the amount, as well as the color should change and go from being bright red to more of like a brownish or pinkish. And then again, by about 4 to 5 weeks, you probably shouldn't be bleeding much. And if you are still at that point, you should call your doctor and they can make sure that everything's looking okay and that your body's healing properly. If you're only a couple weeks out and you're still having bleeding, it's probably due to the delivery and the fact that the uterus is still trying to heal instead of it being a period. So what happens is the vessels that were feeding the baby inside of you have to kind of die off and heal, and your uterus is cramping over them and kind of acting as a tourniquet right after delivery. And your uterus has to continue to shrink down to its pre-pregnant size. And so this takes usually about 4 to 6 weeks in a full-term delivery. But if it was only at 23 weeks, it could take a little bit less time, like I mentioned earlier, maybe 3 to 5. It's hard to say when exactly your body will start having regular cycles again. And when you asked your question about when should I have another baby, that's a hard question, and one that only you and your spouse or your significant other can answer together. You should talk to your doctor and get their input because they know all of the details of your delivery and your overall health and can give you the best answer. But generally speaking, research shows that if you wait about 6 months, then the outcomes in your next pregnancy should be, the chances of things not going wrong are better. So the longer you wait, the better your outcomes will be in the future, basically. One of the biggest pieces that literature talks about is that you should heal psychologically, spiritually, and emotionally before you have another baby. It's especially hard for women who get pregnant right after delivering a stillborn baby, because if they carry that next baby to full term, it's usually due around the same time that they lost their last baby. And this can be very difficult for them. And instead of rejoicing over their new baby, they're also mourning still because it's around the same time of the year. So those are all a few things to think about. And again, I recommend talking to your doctor, and they can help you decide when the best time would be for you to try to have another baby. I wish you the best of luck. And again, I'm so sorry that you've had to go through this. There are support groups, and so contact your doctor's office and they can put you in touch with other women who have experienced the same thing. And it can be very comforting to talk to them, and especially ones who have been through it in years past, because they can shed a lot of light on how to cope and how to find hope at this very difficult time. If you have any other questions in the future, please feel free to ask them on our Facebook page. I'd love to help you in any way I can.